My question is about this peace plan that was published yesterday. Have you seen the original of this plan? Was EU involved in the develop of this plan, or at least aware about preparation of this plan, maybe via United States or Ukraine? And what's the position of EU on this plan? What EU is going to do? Maybe propose some alternative. Thank you.
Thank you, Vitaly. And I mentioned the press conference that President von der Leyen gave this morning in South Africa. She actually got a similar question on the so-called US peace plan. Now, we haven't been communicated formally the plan, but on this question, the President reiterated that from the very first day of this war, we have stood by Ukraine side by side, and together we have been defending the principles of the UN Charter. We have been working very intensively with President Zelensky and President von der Leyen herself, personally, very engaged with President Zelensky and the coalition of a willing for a just, for a lasting peace in Ukraine. This is an ongoing process, and as you said, yesterday this peace plan or 28-point plan was made public. The President announced this morning that she will discuss the situation both with European leaders and with leaders of the G20 who are in Johannesburg, in the sidelines of the G20. And she also said that she will reach out to President Zelensky to discuss this issue. And she reminded that, as always, there is nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine.
Financial Times reports that the Trump administration wants a deal by Thanksgiving, so on November 27. Do you think that the European Union will have enough time to convince Washington to change his position or to do something, to suggest something to Ukraine, they to be able to stand and not to give up on this plan? Because it seems to be that Donald Trump really wants this to be agreed.
Yes, Valentina, I have nothing to add to what I just said, and which is really echoing what the President said herself. So she will be reaching out to President Zelensky to discuss the issue. She will have discussions in the margins of the G20 with the leaders who are present there about the topic, and we will then take it from there.
Hello, Paula. Yes, also on this, can you give us a bit more indication when she plans to speak with President Zelensky? Does she mean this weekend, for instance? And second, does she also plan to call President Trump? Because I know that they have a pretty good relation. Does she intend to call the White House as well? Thank you.
I don't have more information. Jorge said the President was at the press conference. We haven't been able to speak after that, but these calls could be imminent, and there could be also further calls. That's why we also said stay tuned, because of course there can maybe other contacts in the context of the G20 and while in Africa. We'll keep you posted if there are any relevant readouts.
Yes. I know, obviously, that you're still looking into the plan, 20 points. There's one point, actually, that mentions the Russian immobilized assets. I know you're working on that regarding the options paper. Can you just, for clarity, confirm that your work on the options paper and the financing for Ukraine will continue unchanged, irrespective of the content of this deal? Thank you.
I can confirm that the ongoing intense work on the immobilized Russian assets will continue indeed. Yeah.
Thank you, Magnus, with Euractiv. I just note that you say there haven't been any formal communication with the EU about this peace plan. Could you just clarify for a minute? Has there been any informal communication about the plan before it was presented? And has there been any communication since then from the Americans putting pressure on the Europeans to adopt this plan? Thank you.
Magnus cannot confirm whether there have been any contacts with the US on this particular topic since the announcement yesterday of this plan, which was then published in many media sources. Yes.
Thank you. I'm probably asking the same question again, but has there been any communication by the American officials or the ambassador with the European countries' ambassadors in Kiev? And there are also reports that President Zelensky is expected to call several European leaders, including Germany and France's leaders. Can you confirm or deny? Is he also expected to speak to the President of the EU Commission today?
I mentioned this before. Of course, I cannot speak for other leaders. I can speak for President von der Leyen, who said herself today at the press conference in South Africa that she will be reaching out to President Zelensky. I cannot give you details about the exact timing of this call, but as said, stay tuned because there could be then any feedback if and when such contacts take place.
Yeah, it's on Ukraine. According to some media reports, European officials are in Kiev working on another plan, on another peace plan with Ukrainians. This is a yes or no question. Can you confirm this? And if yes, can you elaborate more on this? Thanks.
Anita, do we have more information about that?
Thank you, Angela. You're referring to another plan? Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, so we cannot confirm that. Yes?
Yes. Am I right with my feeling that you don't seem particularly eager to intensively engage with the peace plan put forward by the US administration? Thank you.
You are free to have your impressions, Diego. We are very, very keen on engaging with Ukraine, on engaging with our international partners who have shown interest in really bringing peace to this too long war, and that's what we will continue to do, as I also said already earlier today.
Anita, the Russian Foreign Ministry accused Greece yesterday of pursuing a provocative, confrontational course against the Russian Federation and taking openly unfriendly steps due to its decision to cooperate with Ukraine in constructing and using unmanned maritime vessels, and for that, Russia would respond appropriately to Greece. First of all, what is the Commission's reaction to these statements? And secondly, in case there is an appropriate response by Russia to Greece, how will the European Union respond? And second question, Russia's Foreign Ministry spokesperson also said yesterday that Athens was among the first to send weapons and ammunition to Ukraine. And these weapons are currently used by Ukrainian armed forces daily against civilians in Donbass, Crimea, Zaporizhia, and other southern regions. How do you respond to such a claim? Thank you.
Thank you. I will just respond on two of your points because the other part was a counterfactual question and we don't like to go into the ifs. First and foremost, it does not come as a surprise that Russia is resorting to threats. Of course, we stand in full solidarity with Greece. We have seen also what Russia is capable of being an aggressor, and this is why we're with Ukraine throughout. On top of it, we have seen also the provocative behavior and the threats that Russia is also posing to our own security. These are multiple hybrid threats to our member states. So for this reason, we're taking action, as we have done in boosting our defense. We have the European defense readiness. Thomas might be able to or might want to come in. And this is why we're engaging in supporting Ukraine, but also in boosting our defense on that.
Follow up on Alexandra's question. Does the Commission has any estimation, any explanation for which reason the angriness by the Russians is triggered against Greece? Thank you.
It's like you're asking from a bully why is he all the time angry. No, we cannot answer.
How confident is the Commission that all member states remain aligned on Ukraine if the peace deal of President Trump diverges just from the policy of the European Union?
Investing a lot of efforts in conveying our messages, our way of seeing the situation in Ukraine to all our partners, including the US, and we will continue to do so.